Hey Mark, you're over in your garage right now, but here's a quick video on how to remove these valve covers to do the valve cover gasket. The first thing I like to do is take some paper towel or a rag or something and kind of jam it up underneath of here, because more often than not you're going to have oil pour out of here the second you pop that guy off, so it'll be a little bit preemptive. And basically all you do is you can pop it up or you can pop it down. Take note of the direction that this thing's pointing up here. I think I'll pop yours up. Let's see, will that work? No, we'll go down with it. Down works. You can see it comes off. You kind of lift it up and out. And then you got your super oily valve cover. This didn't leak too much here. But for the sake of doing valves and stuff, I like to take the bail off as well. Try to kind of clean it up a little bit, because you're going to have, coming out of these push rod tubes, you're going to have a little oil more often than not. Usually it's the driver's side, just because of the way the engine is set up. Makes a big difference in terms of how much oil's coming out of those things. But if you lift one side, not the other, you know, oil could pour out, whatever. So the next step here is to do the valve adjust. I have the pulley set up so that the engine is at top dead center, and we're going to do valve number, or cylinder number 1. So this is the intake cylinder and this is the exhaust cylinder. And you're going to use a feeler gauge that's 0.006 six thousandths. And you're going to put it up behind here. So what we have, the valve up here. This is the back end of the valve. And this is what you're going to be adjusting here. You got the flathead screw and the bolt, but this has just a tiny amount of drag, which is exactly what you want. So we're not going to bother with that. And we'll do the same thing for this. This one's pretty tight. You can still kind of get it through there. I think that's probably going to be fine. So that's good for that one. We'll do cylinder number 2, which will be this one. And to get to that, you basically go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 by turning the pulley counterclockwise 90 or 180 degrees, so that you're on the bottom dead center mark, and then the top dead center mark, and then the bottom dead center mark, and top, etc. As you go from one to the other. So we're going to go from cylinder 1, cylinder 2. You'll see these things moving a little bit. And all I'm doing here is I'm just holding the pulley by hand and turning it counterclockwise 180 degrees. You can hear the compression coming out there. There we go. We're at the bottom mark. Ready for cylinder number 2. Cylinder number 2. That's good. And that's a little loose. So what we'll do real quick is we'll loosen up the nut. Hefty loosey, righty tighty. You'll see sometimes that this guy will move at the same time. That's okay. So you're going to be moving it when you're tightening it down. But basically you put the feeler gauge in there, see how it moves, and just kind of tighten it up until you get a little bit of a drag. You can leave the screw there. This is what I usually do. I put that in there and hold that in the right place so it doesn't move. And then you just tighten it down without moving the screwdriver. You see it move just a little bit. Alright, that fell on my head. Put you back up there. About that, maybe edit that one out. All right, so let's tighten down a little bit. Alright, you got a little tiny bit of drag there. Just want to snug it down just a little bit more. Alright, yeah, that's good. Okay, so now we take this out. You can see there's a little bit of oil there. This guy was leaking like a sieve. You take the valve cover off, get rid of that. And you want to use like brake clean or something to get all the residue out of your valve cover. I don't have that right now, so we'll just clean this up the best we can. I've got a little bit of Zep degreaser. Spray. Just get the edge of that nice and clean. There we go. And should have prepared better. I don't have the valve cover gasket ready to go. It's here. There it is. Get it. Dig up the valve cover kit. Once you sealed this thing up, you can't get anything out. Without opening the whole package. Alright, here we go, we got one. Alright, so pop this guy in there so it all lines up nice. Got a little bit of bulging up here. I think it's probably better to be a little big than a little small. Sometimes these come slightly different depending on the manufacturer. But really the main part is this bottom piece. The top can leak, I guess, but I've never really seen it leak from the top. It's all on the bottom, so as long as that's sitting up there nice and tight, it should be good. So we'll pop this guy in here. Oh, there it goes up top. Get that in that hole. Oops. I'll get it in the back hole first. That one first. Oh, geez. Never happens just because I'm doing a video. There we go. That's it. And then, usually you gotta use a screwdriver or something. If you can do this by hand, you need new bales. There we go. And that's the valve cover and valve adjust. And usually like to make sure that that's up there nice and snug. That's it. 8 minutes to do a side. There you go.